versus Firestorm! Begin!
We could think about what gimmicks convolute our history, mix up with Russians, nature forces, and Yoruba witchery, and we could think of crises wrought on our identity.
Yes, surely.
But today, let's only think of flaming enemies with fury. Hey, here comes a question most alarming, not to be dismissed, and one whose comprehension won't take an atomic physicist. Why let a contest measure merger mind to choose from we and you, when the answer is plainer than combining 2 plus freaking 2?
Don't get too cocky, Ronald. Let's see this done as it ought to be. Transmute lit lyrics from raw beats and lecture blockheads properly.
It's gonna be a far cry from your brightest day. I'm going dark, with aims to end this in a flash, just like my debut story. Complete transparency now. Skip on it kicked in, but called on and dared to speak out. Quit not even picking up the mic. You see your worth as after some gem world princess, even goddess. Yet I wouldn't appraise your value at 1/2 Nicki Minaj. It's a lot, and unjailbreakable at that. You're getting blasted. Your cut's unfit for this face-off, falling flat every fast.
Why, it's evident our foe lacks proper grasp of her position, just as suits the fruit of reckless raw romance at first collision.
Molecules are being rewritten, spelling death for sucker gold, souring your sugar sweetness.
That reminds me of a poem. How's it go?
A ruby's red and a sapphire's colored blue. When they're together, all the better to set fire onto you.
It seems your touted tangibility tweaking tricks are getting screwed, lately made with phasing your statements face directly through. Fisticuffs raised to the max. I'll put a heavy hand to spaceborn stone immortals here to vandalize you savagely. Didn't think the balanced bond behind a harmonizing master humble by the body bunking counterpart of Simon and Garfunkel. You're the one nuclear waste best to keep left in the ash can. Rooted soups and faded quest for peace. Less a hack your own Sol Lantern squads. The Reds and A-bombs quell your mission. That's as jacked up as your black successes break on television. You do well to fish. Squishy's risk of lick sticking to that kind of nexus. It's as if you're mixing in black clouds and morning time for breakfast. Hawking up your power set as something there's no reproducing. Your old flame Lorraine of chat. And check that share 52C. Take me on your trip and I could go all summer day. That lapping as your curse lap. Your collapse when stones throw down away.
I'd hardly call that verse a gem, but do see you're impassioned. Now brace for an opposite, unequal nuclear reaction. I'd advise you set about disarming. Keep it, try a battle, and you'll only fall apart, so turn around, three eyes. Get put a bubble on your gushing pride and hear just what I'm made of. Nobel Prize commemorated brains and Brawn Prime for the playoffs. Oh, and right, atoms might fuse not in a tiny need, but through a union whose inducement gets them splitting violently.
The irony!
These elements comprising me like Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. Your cotton candy composition couldn't come remotely close. These bogglers are built to leave your flippin' mind, as broken as that gala metaphor between 2 different kinds. Pursuing this is straight up suicidal. Heed some good advice, lest you be undone swiftly as a slipknot. Fleeing would be wise.
Not you say.
Time your Garnet fandom's queerness toting cheers. What an accomplishment! It merely took damn near 6,000 years. Our souls conjoining form an epic intellect, knowing which forgo all hopefulness of cloning this. Shown a miss with Soviets, you cloying kitschy claw. As for the riffs you spit haphazard, those bare-bones bars have less meat than the prick who nicked your anthem. Ours, fine-tuned to the quantum level, spliced into arrangements, set to shake your union to the brink of thrice-induced estrangement. And don't count on pulling back together, damaged faith restored. Cause just the 2 of us are stronger than your whole volcanic megazord.
Yeah, I'd imagine you'd know all about that orange ranger, but your floating mentor head ought to have warned you to the danger. What if I told you you'd be blindsided, both blacking out in quick turn, when I yank you from the Matrix like my name was Lawrence Fish, known to wreck hot-headed haters? Your hot one will prove no different, as pot-timing casuals get taught the sum of true commit. Want to see a giant of a power? I'm your girl. Espouses me, steady rocking since mankind, they say, was still fresh out of Eve. Plus your time squad of a secret team can bite your old futures at an end, and not what we get even slight. I mean, blimey, screw false pretense for some cackle magician bull. That mind-entrapping weeks-long bend, flatly unforgivable. I'm dropping bombs, the biggest Ron, his mommy or his pops have seen. For overkill to match the namesake of a poor man, constantly stabilizing deconstruction. I'll make them draw a blank. I call your deal a nature crime. Rechristen Raymond, Ronnie Fresh.
You say your bodyguard love shtick will never come to dissolution, like a pair of mutant midget Technicolor Whitney Houston. Think we'll have a problem here?
Now that's bananas. We'll be home by daylight. Asa asks that she's seen fee free to her own one-way
Girl,
flight.
your jointly self-absorbed felicities and utter joke. Make threats of dropping bombs, and watch your dignity go up in smoke. You're unprepared for primetime, Gemini. How can you expect to win this? When your origin got upstaged by our robot chicken Chris, from NYC streets to Justice Leagues, we made ourselves a name. You've kept one shared with countless drones, all bred and trained to be the same. I live up to and past the heights of my star-spangled heritage. You aren't worth your own weight at the ideal price per carat, bitch. You're meritless. You call those palace walk foam Hulk props on you gauntlets? Come at me with them and catch a flaming knuckle through the face. Your lame Cheeto PSA coach couldn't top this all-new hotness. So if you can't stand the heat, beam back on up into your safe space.
See, all notions that it's nearly so severely hard to beat her, shattered like the trust invested in her dear departed leader.
You perceive self-value more than constituting both your parts. But the math says otherwise. Check any jewelry broker's charts. Half of you served in a royal court as its official seer. You've got some kind of third-eye blind, though. If this isn't crystal clear, you don't look awesome. And it's time you went to bed.
Now close the deal.
I'll let your Godson know that what you did today was joke for real.
You'll find no exhaustion here. I'm far from prone to break the sweat. When I wipe the floor with phony hot shits, it's liable to wind up painted red. It's viable to say I've wholly got this child's play, though only for joining in on it. You're gonna get rolled in left cold. All your folks going, oh no, they are dead on a total toxin cross space rock crimes created ground up. Like your Odigan Oasis, the fate of which I wouldn't take it you're too proud. A 10th level belter, I rep rebel chemical melders. Test against my metal, best inject some in. Augment your cells or get to shelter. It's a song of ice and fire. When you're packing just the last, your whole rhythm rides implosion bound. Plasma's gonna splash for your nuclear family values. I'm beyond such rigid norms. With multiplex strengths, all rolled up inside one monolithic, ever-flowering, love letter showered, empowering, towering, gay romantic types grown my ways with a head reflected, and bam, it's the source who sees to so many enduring debates. Descent training is any achromatic type. Try shouting this down and watch me unshakingly pluck out your, and sure you'll be a goner.
How's Stein's schooling session starting something Sass supposed to handle? Kindergarten rooms had brought her whole proud pairing to a standstill, single-handedly one-upping that accursed menagerie, observant verse, or worse disturbing blasphemy. Your present perspicacity has faltered from foresight fixation. Your chastened soulmate shows, for starters. Even Jason never sunk to such low standard with his partner. When this atomic architect takes to the floor, the only overhyped-up ship that's headed for a wreck is yours!
I see a glorified Jiminy Cricket with a non-existent sex life. He will find less clemency at Fort here than with his ex-wife. You've not met a crystal cold to you as this. You'd better hide. No psycho on any of them in Earths can hope to sway me to your side. Your doomsday clock is ticking. Precognition even spell what's gonna happen when the baddest blue boss bombshells bat you breaks and stop mid-heaven. This alleged legend won't see tomorrow. It's a parrot and you'll be slaughtered. Deploring the oracle was a mistake, just as aberrant as your daughter.
Hey! Why should I fall back on the dumb distraction too? When you're as prone to cause your own strikeout, all while we shoot the moon. The crap let this theory of mine be self-fulfilled. Cease to diss me, lest I cut your lifeline like a Greek Ancestors 3 from Disney.
If that satanic travesty of trite trash talk's all you got, then it's no inner fascist speaking when I say you should be shot. Though I'd have warned you that would be to squander breath from me, I know this, you'd be heedless even with a quarter-century of notice.
Hit the streets, relax the homelessness. You'll want to keep anonymous, a fuming to the brimstone spent on bringing your apocalypse. The CW can have Miss Kane informed on termination. There was no room for her once this ruby rose to the occasion.
It was plain why you would be a cowboy. Shit got polarized. Now take one more comic page to heart. Right into the horizon. No horsebacking though. Triforce propelled ascension through the sky. Yo, when you get to space's vacuum, tell your brethren I said hi. I'm like the happy of those 5 red dwarfs renege on standing with you. Just back down from whence you've stepped up. Better yet, abandon ship too. Gangsta rapping worthily of some Dakota verse bang baby. Watch this meta star extinguish your eternal flame, baby.
Funny you mention horizon. The events that I discern are painting you abyss and bound and past the point of no return. Jerk-hole gripes and talking smack. I won't like such judgments were I to be used. Full circle like a tokamak. Your back attacks will bite you something entirely new.
A tempered temper lends endless energy attained to blow. Rage has got you burning out, and that's my okay to KO. So let's leave the hero business to myself and the professor, making sure they'll see the written notice of your surrender.
Have you turned your own brains to jelly? You're intoxicated. Face flying off the rails, you'll plummet to rock bottom, getting wasted. I'm out to bring her beyond mere heartbreak. Unless your wounds yet need more salty. Like your record's blackest mark, which rush won't soon let be forgotten.
That was rotten, alright, biting to look back upon as Sodom's burning white light this night too will end your torment though with no returning.
Or in more straightforward wording, die! You must be nuts, cause if the wedding stage didn't clue you in, today belongs to us.
I'll gladly rain at your reunion, jerk. It's time to face the truth. You're plainly out of it as any circus sideshow saber too.
If the professor is the passenger beside my pilot punks, that puts you as the ones blindfolded, bound and gagged inside our trunk. You've walked Earth since prehistory.
Well, let's address the elephant.
A flung back Furby's apt to outpace your apocal relevance. We'll soon return to purpose-lacking, playing parent off the table. Once our verses clash and Steven takes an arrow in the navel.
Dude, he me has one thing, but those bars of your creation?
Cancerous beyond the help of your most cosmic incarnation.
Striking with the shadows subtle gray, yet shining still lethality. You may think it's injustice, but we're winning by fatality.
You're getting throttled harder than you dropped the ball with Brainiac's old ship of portals. Take a moment to think now just how very wrong you were disputing me. A clear-cut, polymerized paragon. Let no confusion be.
The trigger word's been stated, now my trap is activated. Thus the trump card's played in my fair maiden's name, so saith I. The coming game's experience, your bum should take to fearing it, because it's time to die. Overkill OG, avoiding all those CGCs, don't test me. MCBEUD on the track, but then it's your death team. I inflict direct testing life went down to zero. No doubt for this joke of a Gen 9 and elemental hero dropout. I drop right on in without a rule. Outside cyberstar. Your triple threats converging onto Ruby, Ron, Sapphire, and Stein. You're all exhausted, left defenseless as a goblin force one shatter. Losing heads dealt to you all later, and now I strike like Yada. Garasu to lock you pussy fusionists in stranglehold. You've never been my will in shining armor forged of rarest gold. In terms of targets fixed upon you, you'll have no chance to get goaded. With the burst stream zapping your whole sheepish quartet of components. Weighing you against me, the lame scales will tip so hard. You catapult with robo-journals, wishing they could flick us far. You're standing on the edge, ensuing shock is sure to wreck your balance. Come the baddest dragons, darkness charge from his sword necrophallic. Me, I spell it out, your destiny is final, undisputed. As for changing fate, moreover, that's my job without tributed. Crushing you, why would I sprint to virus? That ain't worth my time. When all your values at their highest couldn't match a third of mine. The legend that began it all off, mimic, never replicate. My pot runneth over, it's not necessary to explain it. We're paying for some shadow penalties, it's twisting it's your face. For those who come in behind blue as a limp biscuit's what they taste.
Self-special summoning and 2 are double duel. Screw that whole deal. If I wanted a royale, I'd just be playing Battlefield.
To drag this out with dialogue delaying, I haven't got all day. And when this card is heartless to you, how can you so much as pray?
Well, I'd say you've let your defenses down, and I ain't talking misprint. Your effects on me is put simply as your text box non-existent.
It's a Rapper Kingdom Finals whoop that isn't gonna fly. With one-star-studded gauntlets plainly tell that you're unqualified. I got you insects slipping up, but doing so won't serve to bite me. For your loss to base lusterless, dull, little unworthy riding. Will I shine on ever brightly, even scale them for the big screen. Steal the thunder of guitars, my lyrics lay on flabber. This collective looks your bustion about face flared up in a frenzy. But I felt far more infernal, red-eyed monsters full of envy. Cards are stacked against you deeper still than ratio of destruction. Wetland sealing your demise, although you guess correct on one thing. Now my arsenal's evolved to make for new alternatives. Use chaos rituals to maximize the pain, I'll burn you, bitch. Maybe send this straight sucker straight to the grave. You gain a compensating dex, sir. And now for a mash of misery, like the doggy saying Edward.
Oh, you can banish that try instead. Full metal jacket. Cause I have to ask it, what is your mammoth malfunction, maggot?
I have had it with these Muto fighting dragons. Ohlsen has won. But for us coming back from this hijacking, hopes look next to none.
Our best yet's unexhausted.
The sole option I have to take here
Should we all agree we want it?
would be nuclear in nature.
Are you thinking what I am?
I don't think that's how fusion
Well,
works.
screw the rule. We have fanfiction logic.
Let's just do this, Jack.
Know your last minute winning play. Details, I take no pleasure in this. As I bust loose from my title spot and get direct to business. So let's vocals for it. Mind you, while I count us to the show. And finish what your master started to wind down and through the go. He's buzzing up you sideways, keeping up the damage on the same. The meteoric impact, fitting for your black as Robert's flame. I'm breaking your sun-stained chain. Those are my components and strain too. The 4 pieces here need come together to obliterate you. Brightly blazing stone conglomerate, far from your shadow puppets. Mega mix it, this vanilla triple dipper can go shut it. If your AAA call me the alphabet, hold back most left. No tuneless trickery required, I'll deflect attacks all day. My fighting spirit's too intense to stay, my presence here is fleeting. But the last turn is upon us and you're set for a searing beating. Wanna end this with a draw, I'll go berserker, then get violent. And remake the straight on monster, stomp off this try ahead of time. 1, 2,